All right, everyone, get ready for a real treat today because we are diving into a recipe that stopped me in my tracks.
Ooh.
A curry-infused coconut custard tart. Curry. In a dessert. You better believe it. And trust me, this isn't just some wacky culinary experiment.
Not at all.
This unexpected pairing actually has roots in centuries-old culinary traditions. And to help us understand the why and the how, we've got our resident expert on global cuisine and flavor pairings joining us. Welcome to the show. The second I saw unexpected harmony of flavors in the recipe description, I knew we needed your insights.
I'm happy to be here. You're spot on. The combination of curry and coconut custard, it definitely raises an eyebrow or two, but it's not as out there as it might seem at first glance, really. I mean, think about it. Mexican chocolate often has a touch of chili in it, and that's a perfect example of how savory spices can actually enhance sweetness, that earthy warmth you get from chili. Well, it really amplifies those deep, rich notes of the chocolate.
You know what? I actually never thought of chili and chocolate as a savory-sweet combo, but it makes perfect sense when you put it that way.
It's all about balance.
Exactly, and speaking of balance, this recipe specifically mentions a balance between the sweetness of the coconut and the heat of the curry. So tell us more about that. How does that work?
Okay, so the recipe uses coconut milk in the custard base, right? Which brings that natural sweetness and that velvety texture that you want in a custard. Now, the amount of curry powder, that's key. The recipe recommends starting with 1 teaspoon of a mild curry powder, but, and this is important, you can totally adjust it to your taste. If you're feeling adventurous, go for a hotter curry powder or toss in an extra half teaspoon.
I love it. Okay. This is making me hungry. Let's move on to the crust, because a fantastic crust can really elevate a tart.
100%.
And this recipe calls for a classic buttery short crust. What are your thoughts?
Can't go wrong with that. Texture is absolutely crucial in any dessert, and that buttery, flaky short crust. It provides the perfect contrast to that smooth and creamy custard. Although, you know, a nut-based crust, that could add another layer of complexity. Something like almond or pecan would complement the coconut and curry beautifully.
Ooh, I like where your head's at. Okay, last but not least, the garnish. The recipe suggests toasted coconut flakes and coconut cream, which is classic. But are there any other toppings that you think would work well?
You know me, I'm all about that salty sweet thing, so a sprinkle of sea salt would be amazing. Just a touch to really make those flavors pop. Or, if you're going for a different kind of sweetness, a drizzle of honey would be fantastic. That floral sweetness would play really nicely with the coconut and the curry.
See, this is why we bring in the experts. Amazing suggestions. You've officially inspired me to get in the kitchen and start experimenting. You've opened my eyes, and I hope our listeners feel the same way, to the incredible possibilities when it comes to flavor combinations.
Don't be afraid to step outside that comfort zone. Embrace the unexpected. That's where the fun is.
Couldn't agree more. Big thanks to you for sharing your expertise with us today. And for our listeners, here's something to think about. Could this savory sweet approach work with other classic desserts? What unexpected ingredient are you going to add to your next culinary creation? Until next time, happy cooking.